Officers and committees, Article number 4. Number 1, all officers are elected by a majority vote of active members, whether in person or by proxy. And I put email or text. If somebody can't make the voting meeting in December or November, December, whatever the month is that we actually vote in November, they can, if they're an active member, you can text or email your vote. I see nothing wrong with that. You cannot control what life happens to you. If you get in a car wreck and can't make it, it's just not fair. Your opinion still counts. Number 2, committee chairpersons are appointed by the president. The appointee has the right to refuse service. Now, that's kind of a standard thing, that the chairpersons are appointed by the president. You could elect them, but I feel as though at this point in time, it might be better for the person at the top to look at all the people that he has beneath him and say, your talent is this. Do you think you could handle this? Because I think you could. I think you'd be a great committee, a great membership committee chairman. If we want to change that to being voted in, that's fine too. But there's 5 committees and there's 4 offices, so that's 9 people that need to be voted in. Number 3. Committee chairs are responsible for writing, updating, implementing procedures to their respective committee members. So if you're the tournament committee chairman, then you get a piece of paper out and you write down the 10 or 15 steps that you do every time you run a monthly, and that becomes, we will debate it and vote it in as our procedure. That's something that can change from month to month or year to year. So it's why it's not in the bylaws, but something like that can be put together and should be put together by the people in the committee, because they're the ones doing the job. So they should put their heads together and come up with little procedures for all the little things we do, like putting a basket in. The maintenance committee chairman is going to meet with his help, his committee members, and say, we've got to put these baskets in. Let's write a 10-step procedure for how big to dig the hole, how much concrete to use, how much rebar, how to put it in, and it's done. That's what that means. Number 4, each committee is required to meet/communicate at least once a month outside of regular club meetings. It's going to happen on Facebook. It's almost a done deal. I mean, at some point, you're going to see a post that Fig or Chi or somebody makes, and you're going to chime in and say, yeah, buddy, that sounds good. Everybody on the committee needs to put their heads together at least once a month to make sure that the club business that they were assigned to do that month or whatever their project is gets done or moves forward. Once again, that's asking for a little bit of participation and a little bit of commitment. Each committee chair must give an oral report at each meeting and hand a written report to the secretary. So if we when we go put these baskets in this Sunday, the maintenance committee chairman, or whoever heads up that, at the next meeting will say, when it's time for his report, we did this, that, and the other, and here's a piece of paper with it written down, we did this, that, and the other. Real simple, but very important. We must keep records of what we do, or everything we do doesn't mean anything. It's just out there in the ether. Okay, number 6. All terms are for one club fiscal year, January 1st through December 31st. I think 1 year is a good number. Anything can happen to anyone at any point in time in their life that they might not be able to fulfill their duty, and that's totally okay. I think asking for more than 1 year is probably too much. I think 1 year is enough to say, hey man, I can make a commitment to this thing for 12 months. So I think 1 year makes sense with the fiscal year and all the things we do. It lines up with our calendar. Number 7, any club member may resign his or her position at any time by submitting a written explanation. So if you just are burned out and you can't run any more tournaments and you can't deal with it anymore, then you turn in a written resignation to me, the president, and you will be allowed to resign. Now, you can still stay on and join another committee. You don't go inactive because you resign from your position. It's just an acknowledgement that the job is not, and me don't get along, or I haven't got the time. I need to do something that requires a little less time. Or I need to be doing, I can do website stuff better than I can run a tournament. So let me do the website stuff. Let me shift my position. All right, number 8. Now we get into the meat of it here. The club structure consists of 5 permanent committees. Listed below are the various responsibilities of each. Other committees may be created as needed. Ad hoc committees, they're called. Okay, A, the executive committee consists of 4 officers and is chaired by the president. It is tasked with day-to-day operations, setting up the yearly calendar, and managing the budget. I don't know if that's everything. There might be a few other things that need to go in there. We'll have to wait to see. The president of the committee, executive committee is made up of 4 officers. Number 1, the president. I'm in charge of meeting agendas, running the meeting, facilitating operations. In other words, making sure if we say we're going to do something that I'm calling or texting and say, are you on your way? I'm the Hanover County liaison. I'm responsible for keeping in contact with the New Hanover County Parks Department, and that includes going to public meetings. County approval of all club activities. If Rudy needs to fix the bench on 8th, then he contacts me and says we need to fix the bench on 8th, and I contact the county and say we're going to fix the bench on 8th. You got a problem with it? No, do it. We must clear it with them per the MOU. And just quickly, the MOU is a contract, a binding contract we have with the county that allows us to operate as a club. We must clear whatever we do with the county. I'm a club representative for whatever purpose. An official announcement that needs to be made on Facebook, I would probably be the person to make it if it was a big deal. And I'm ex facto member of all committees, meaning that the other 4 committees, I'm kind of in on what you guys are doing. I'm going to call up Rudy and say, Rudy, how's it going with the bench? You know, let's move that forward. It also, you know, it allows me to make sure that everybody stays on task and does just what they're supposed to do, not any more or any less. All right, the membership committee. And if you'll notice also as we go along, there is an order of succession. The vice president is second in succession. If I can't make a meeting, then whoever the vice president is needs to run the meeting. I will do everything in my power to make sure he has the information he needs to do that. Traditionally, the vice president is the chairperson of the membership committee because the membership committee is very important. And of course, assuming the duties of me in my absence, or whoever the president is. Number 3, our treasurer. We obviously have to track money, profit, loss. We need a monthly financial report. The treasurer is 3rd in line of succession. Secretary, taking written reports, summarizing meetings, and posting them. And I've got the camera going back there. I don't know what we're going to end up doing, but we don't have a secretary now. But the secretary is a very, very important job because you're keeping track of what we do. Everything, all the good things we do for the community to know. If we don't keep track of what we do and say, hey man, this is our resume, then all we got is our word. And for a lot of people that may not be good enough. We need proof that we're doing all these things. So it is definitely a very important job. And if it may be as simple as hitting record on that at the end of the meeting, posting it up to YouTube. I think that might be the way to go because that's what the county does. Number 4, not secretary, that's it. B, membership committee. The membership committee chairman would be 5th in line. It's his responsibility to collect dues.
But that's already the vice president, right?
Yeah, he's 2nd in line.
Well, if it ends up not being, if the vice president ends up not being the chair of the membership committee, now I don't want to force anyone to do something they don't want to do.
Okay, fair enough.
And if if the vice president says, man, I'd really rather be the communications committee chair, then that's what we're going to do.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Soliciting membership, keeping a list of our members, active and inactive, and any appropriate Facebook announcements. Flip over the page to get the last one. Facebook administration, running sponsorships, working on sponsorships, working out a clinic schedule. And these are all duties, as I'm reading, of the particular committee. Marketing director, creative ideas, like Jeff Erickson's idea with the hot dog and the card fundraisers, ads. I think that we need to put an ad on government TV about our club, and then we need to solicit membership. They do it with the tennis. And of course, social events. I think at the beginning of this, I thought it would be neat to have an end-of-the-year banquet. Could be a cookout at the gazebo, something to celebrate the good things that we've done. We really should reward ourselves, because at the end of the year, we will have all worked hard, I'm sure of it. C, Communications Committee. Media Director, this is the person who is, this is key. All the news outlets in town, all the bulletin boards, the Facebook, they need to know what we're doing. People of New Hanover County need to know what we're doing. That means that WECT and every radio station, whatever local calendars we can get on, we need to, every time we do something, we need to send out an email to those people and let them know. Kiosk maintenance, pretty self-explanatory. Website maintenance. There's some things we need to do with the website. Photographer, videographer. I'd like everyone to start taking pictures with their iPhones, if you have them. If you're at a tournament and you're goofing around, take a picture of your buddy driving and post it up on Facebook. Why not? And an artist. I want to project some color. You know, let's look at some new designs. Let's look at doing some cool stuff with shirts and discs. Maintenance committee. Hardware, pads, pens. Did you have a question, Nick?
Yeah, actually I did. Oh, not a question, but I was kind of, so it looks like you might, just kind of a suggestion, it looks like your membership committee and your communications committee is somewhat
overlapping, yes.
Right, so like the Facebook announcements that you have, section or item 4 in the membership committee could be, it's really probably in communications, right?
You're
and
correct.
Some of this stuff is it's overlapping, but it probably, maybe you want to move it to the communications area specifically. Just a note, I don't know if you're doing red line, Rev 2, maybe just go through and clean that up.
I understood as I was writing this that the membership committee and the communications committee definitely had several overlapping tasks. And ultimately, all the tasks contribute to each other.
Right.
That will be something that we may have to work out along the way. We might find that 3 months from now that we probably should move it to make it work. But the note is taken, Nick. Thank you. Maintenance committee, pretty self-explanatory. Rudy's already on it. He seems to be, that seems to be his gig. And of course our tournament committee. We run the Azalea, we've got monthlies, our points race, all this King of the Castle, all this great stuff we do. We need guys to show up and do it. You know, Chi and Fig have been towing the line for about 2 years now. So, we'll see how that goes. All right, and finally, the club operations. The club shall meet 12 times per year, once a month, at a time and day as agreed upon by a majority of the active club members. Below, I've listed out what I feel like we should probably concentrate the most on these 4 particular meetings. The first, in January, we need to get our calendar together. We need to put our year together. And then, of course, we do all that stuff throughout the year, and towards the end of the year, we wind down with committee and officer nominations, voting, and, of course, the final meeting, we want to try to close out any old business that's hanging and prepare for the next year. Number 2, parliamentary procedure shall be utilized to execute all club meetings. It won't be an exact version, but it'll be very similar to what we're doing right now. You've got to raise your hand and say, I move we do this, and then we vote on it. Debates will be structured. It won't be people shouting back and forth at each other. Number 3, monthly meeting agendas will be posted online by the president at least 2 weeks prior to each meeting. Pretty simple. That's a Facebook issue. Number 4, meeting agenda items must be presented to the president at least 48 hours before each meeting in writing, email, text, or Facebook. Like Dave sent me an email a few days ago to adding on some important agenda stuff. Thank you. If you tried to stick it on at the last minute, let's try to just keep that rolling forward like that. All club actions, number 5, all club actions will comply with the New Hanover County contract, number 13, blah, blah, blah. This contract stipulates rules and regulations concerning the legal obligations of our club to New Hanover County. It includes, but is not limited to, the basic functions and activities of the club and maintenance of proper liability insurance, which we are currently up to date through next June. That's the MOU that I was talking about earlier, which is a contract that says we won't go in there and break nothing and tear nothing up, and everything that we do will be in line with what the county wants us to do, which is grow the sport. Pretty much what we're already doing. We just need to let them know about it. And finally, the active club membership shall have the power to repeal or amend any of these bylaws by majority vote, provided that such action is in the best interest of the future of the sport and the survival of the club. I know you guys got a lot of ideas. You're going to have to utilize Facebook, email, text messaging, whatever you can. If you have an idea about a rewording or an addition or subtraction to these bylaws, please, over the next 2 to 3 weeks, submit your ideas so that when we come in, we can have something concrete to talk about. And I do plan on putting all these documents up so they will be available, meaning that the next time, you guys will be printing up stuff on your own printers instead of me, and bringing your 5 or 10 sheets of paper to the meeting. All right.
Do we have a registration form for the New Hanover County Disc Golf Club?
We have a membership form.
Is it available online? On our
It was
website?
at one point in time. It is, I don't believe it's on there. Okay, it's not on there now.
That would be the easiest thing for somebody who's recruiting members to be able to tell them, just go to our website and you can, you know.
Someone actually did try to join, and they said that the
Oh, this is a
PayPal
gift.
link.
Oh, this is a gift. It's not a link. It's a gift. It hasn't.
It's not a link.
It's never worked.
Well,
Oh, no,
PayPal-
What you guys have to understand with the existing members of the club is we don't have a computer programmer. We don't have a web designer. So what we had built was by an old club member who was an amazing web designer and graphic artist who built us an amazing website. But what's there is there, and he does not have the ability to update it or help us with existing changes. So if you guys know anybody who has any ability to design and implement things on websites, we could really use that help, because that's one thing that we have always been lacking in.
They will definitely be soliciting for that. Fix PayPal link on membership page.
And the thing is I don't know that we want to get into that, because at that point in time, and we can, I mean, it's not a big deal, but why I did not pursue setting that up is that I definitely do not want to get into mailing membership packages, because once again, that's another expense that cuts into the very thin profit margin we already make on new memberships.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if it's a local guy, it's cool. You can say, oh man, I saw that you sent us $20, that's awesome, where can I meet you? But it falls on somebody to do that, and I just don't, I would hate for somebody to send us money, us not know the money was there, and then they're like, why is nobody contacting me? Why am I not getting my stuff? So it's just something that you would want to
Yeah, that's
lay
a
out
good-
and then.
So that, yeah, because then if the PayPal's that much of a pain in the ass, just have a registration form. They
Right.
register, they show up for the next monthly
There you go.
event, and then
Absolutely.
you give them their, you know. But
Absolutely.
again, that's going to have to make sure that somebody who's in charge of the membership committee is
Right.
making sure that they know there's 3 new members that possibly will show up at this monthly,
Right.
and I need disc and a bag tag for those 3 new members.
And the great thing is that the discs and bag tags, that's really the best way, because the discs and the bag tags are always at the monthly, and that's about the only place they are. You know?
Right.
So it's like, if we can get them to do that, that's a win-win situation for
Good.
everybody.
Yeah, both points of view valid. I did use PayPal. We did have it up, and
You still have it. You still have
we
your
got a few
PayPal.
memberships, but they luckily were local guys.
Yep. Yep.
So, the MOU, I will post up the electronic document for everyone to look at. And one quick announcement, the course will be closed October 3rd.
So
Don't be gone at it.
this past Thursday or last Wednesday.
I guess you guys don't have to worry about it then.
Did anybody not get to play that day? Did anybody go out there?
No.
It's a cross country run. They do it every year.
You could play that morning, just couldn't
I
play
cleared-
now.
Right. So yeah, exactly. I think it was like 4 to 6 or something.
Yeah.
How about did they in years past they've been good, but I've definitely seen water bottles and things like that out there. Was there?
I took the
Shirts.
Underwear.
Huh?
I took the signs.
Yeah.
They had like mile markers in
They've
the
done really good. They're really good about cleaning up, but there's always been like that. You know that course is immaculate. So when you see a water bottle out there, it catches your eye like that. You know. So
So,
but they have been good.
let me just simply say that I appreciate everyone's time. This has been a long, tough meeting. I know everyone's anxious to get home, and I promise that they won't be this long anymore. I really, you know what I'm saying, Dave, I feel like we can do this every month in under an hour.
Absolutely.
We just had so much stuff, so I want you all to go home and look at this stuff, look at the paperwork when I get it up, and I move that we adjourn our meeting.
Yes. Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion
Everybody-
carried.
Everybody give Boz a hand.
I wanna go to war.
Yeah, thanks, Buzz.
We need more beer.
Thanks, Buzz, for putting it all together, man. Thank you.
That would go before you.
Wife already said.
You were the funky dude in off the deep end. You take all this?
I knew we were gonna have a lot.
Was that your first time to Carolina?
Yeah. How was it? The intimidator. Luckily, I'll have it for you at the moment. Thanks for coming, Wade.
Did you get some food for your camp?
No. Thanks for coming,
Did you get some food for your camp?
Yeah, dude. The intimidator. Have you been lately? Have you read?
I haven't been to Carolina.
Yeah.
It's probably been.
Good to see you, Buzz.
We'll see you later.
Yeah, no, I was there before.
Shit, dude.
Do they still have the, do they still have Top Gun?
Coming out, buddy.
Stand up underneath.
Afterwards. Later. Yeah, they do. Yes.
Thanks for coming in.
They put that in there.
Thanks, Russell. Good to see you, buddy. Lose weight.
My mom, that was our Christmas.
Good to see you, champ.
Did you ride the Cyclone?
I went to,
We did, when I was younger, church day one day.
Oh, it was church day when we went.
No,
Newsletter, man.
church day before was only the people that signed up.
Well, it was like a church, it was like a youth meeting.
Nick, thank you for the show support button. And there was nobody there. We just rode it for like